Ladies and gentlemen, guys and gals, non-binary pals, and the technicolor rainbow in between, this is Modular Media Wrestling Podcast. I am your host, Chris Boinger Writer Gaston, and with me, as always, is my tag team partner...
The Vacuuminator, and... Hold on. I'm a little parched. Stockbroker tears. Always hits the spot.
Yeah. It's always good to have stuff like that in this medically induced FOMO. But this is MMWP, Modular Media Wrestling Podcast, the podcast on Modular Media where me and Vac here talk about the wrestling we enjoyed during the week. Specifically, the person who lines our pockets, Tony Khan, AEW. I mean, of course, anybody who really enjoys that, got to be in the pockets, right?
Tony Khan gives me all the money, and then I give it all back to him by way of jazzwares.
And he gives the greatest hugs.
He is such a kind and gentle man.
I was about to say the line, and I think that'd be going too far. Do you want me to... Let me say this. This is out of the context of that little back and forth.
Tony Khan, we love you. Please come on our podcast someday.
The joke I was going to say, mind you, this is a separate context. So I'm saying, and such a gentle lover too.
No, but you know, Tony Khan looks like that kind of guy who in bed would be every 5 seconds going, "Are you okay? Does this feel good?" Doesn't he know?
Tony Khan is the nerdy side. Tony Khan is the nerdy side. Tony Khan is the nerdy side character in the 1980s rom-com teen comedy.
Oh yeah. I love that this is where we're starting this week.
Yes, we are starting this wrestling podcast with questions of how Tony fucks.
How does Tony fuck? We need to know. We need to know in order to understand how AEW will influence the stock market when it goes public.
Oh, God. Fuck. For future people who are probably not going to watch this, because this is very much a timely podcast.
Yeah.
Fucking the whole Wall Street bullshit and GameStop. It's fucking hilarious.
It is wonderful.
I'm sad that part of the whole scheme didn't involve tanking WWE stock somehow. I think that'd be just like a cherry on top.
That would have been so wonderful.
That'd been hilarious.
I did think about trying to egg some influential people on into potentially doing that, but then I was like, that'd make me look petty, wouldn't it?
Yeah. I was hoping for a serendipitous. It's like, oh, that'd be hilarious.
Wouldn't it be amazing if that had happened the week of the Rumble?
Oh, yeah. Coming in at number 30, bunch of fucking Redditors.
It's just like the anti Capitol riot group.
No. They bring back right to censor.
Yes. So Revolution's going to be on March 7th.
Yeah. It's fine. Sports shit.
Yeah. Sunday fun day. I'm looking forward to it.
I mean, it's not like they said, oh, we're changing the card, we're doing something different. It's genuinely yeah, no, it's just a different day.
Oh no, I won't be able to stay up late and watch it live with Boingo. What a loss.
I mean, look at this face. It's not being around this face is always a loss.
Yeah, well, yeah, but it's a minor inconvenience compared to what it could be.
Yeah. Hey, this is news. This is how things are happening.
It's newsy news.
It'd be big news if they were like, oh, hey, by the way, we're doing the pay-per-view on a Monday.
Mm-hmm.
That'd be news. That'd be like, what the fuck are you doing, bro?
Our show is now taking place the same day as WrestleMania.
What?
Yes.
Okay. Are we doing a bit
Yeah.
here? Are we doing a gag?
Hi, I'm Tony Khan. I've gained confidence in the bedroom now, and I'm just gonna slam my big old pecker down on the desk.
Is that just the lore of this podcast? Tony Khan was a virgin, then he did AEW and got fucking laid, and now he's just the most confident
He's the
man.
biggest. He's now the biggest Chad in wrestling.
He's the biggest Chad in wrestling.
Yes.
That's how he'll defeat WWE. He goes to Connecticut and just walks into the office and goes like, "Hey Vince, look at this." Unzips his pants, flop it down, and Vince goes like, "I can't beat that. Fuck."
Vince would be an alpha, but Tony Khan is a sigma.
Don't bring that fucking white bread motherfucking mayonnaise bullshit in this fucking house.
Oh, but it's funny.
I know it's funny, but it's funny to point at them, not to bring it up. Fair?
Oh, it's kind of both though.
Yeah. But speaking of things that aren't brought up, the fact that I didn't watch BTE, tell me about it.
I'm gonna barely remember.
And just fucking go over the things you liked that you do remember. But we gotta shave time on this podcast somehow. We can't let it go 2 hours.
So we got a little bit where it's half a dumb, goofy BTE bit and half a serious story BTE bit that opens the show where like the Bucks are on a green screen backstage and there's all these like goofy videos that are being cut in behind them. Well, they're trying to calm down the Good Brothers who are like all hyped up and talking about the Biz Cliz and whatnot. And they're like, but guys, you hurt Penta. That wasn't very nice. Guys, could you maybe calm down so we could at least strategize our match for next? Guys, all right. Why are we on the green screen? What's going on? That was basically the whole bit.
Neat. We'll talk more about the Good Brothers later because we got to talk about that fucking promo.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, we'll get there.
Bruh, foreshadowing.
I understand.
You gotta lay out a plan. This ain't fucking Magic Box.
My bad, bro, Seth. I concede.
Broconomy. What the fuck was a broconomy?
It's okay. It's okay. I understand. You're the supreme ruler of the bro side.
Broconomy is the GameStop situation. That's a broconomy.
We're gonna after this we're gonna snuggle up and watch Broback Mountain.
All right, continue talking about BTE. There's no segue for that.
It's very late and we're all loopy. And Brandon Cutler hit Christopher Daniels' rental car.
On purpose or like bit? Like I mean like in real life or in bit?
In real life. It was literally we just after that immediately hard cut to just everyone is standing around Christopher Daniels' rental car laughing their asses off, and Matt Jackson is like, explain what happened, Brandon Cutler, and he's like, so we were pulling in and I was talking to someone in the back seat and I kind of scraped into this other car and I went, oh shit, I hope that's no one important. And then we walked in and we were all kind of joking about it, and then you randomly said, you being Matt Jackson, hey CD, are you renting a white minivan with South Carolina plates? And he goes, yeah, actually, now that you mention it, why? And then they all came out there and started laughing. And CD's trying to stay in character. He's going like, oh man, I'm gonna have to write you up. There's gotta be a form for this or something. We gotta get Tony involved. And Brandon Cutler, like after a minute of being embarrassed, catches on and he gets down on his knees and starts trying to buff it out. All the while, the Good Brothers are just like fucking roasting him in the background. It was hilarious.
As a good brother should.
Then we got a little scene of the Young Bucks immediately following the match with Private Party last week, basically going like, hey guys, we saw what happened out there. What the fuck was that? Was that a heel turn? And then Mark Quinn, straight as a fucking rod, just looks at Matt Jackson and goes, what the hell is a heel turn?
I love this weird meta kayfabe that the Bucks kind of live in. Like, they're Deadpool.
Yeah.
They're wrestling Deadpool.
Exactly. And then immediately Matt Hardy walks in. It's two different Matts. It's hard to. Matt Hardy walks in and he's like, "Whoa, whoa, 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 whoa! My boys did not turn heel. Okay, these are good boys. Listen, listen. These are good boys. Unlike yourselves, they know how to listen and they know how to respect their elders. Something you never learned. You never listened to me. You never respected me back on the Indies, and look where that got you. I mean." Guys, go back to the locker room, and that was the whole thing. Um,
If the
Also, there was a
Bucks
tease.
are Deadpool, is Lance Archer Lobo?
Potentially, I think he'd have to get more involved with BT first.
I just mean in more general, like, he kind of has that vibe.
Mm-hmm.
But continue.
And then there was this little bit that I thought I should mention where Dark Order are talking about they want to start recruiting again. So Five calls Alex Abrahantes, one of the backstage interviewers for AEW, who's mostly on Dark and things like that. And he basically said, like, yo, start recruiting. And we see that Alex Abrahantes is the Kool-Aid man, and he's wearing like a Dark Order polo and whatnot. Um, and that's a tie-in. I'm only bringing it up because it's part of Dark Order. It's a tie-in to a subplot on BT that has been going for like ages, predating our show that I didn't want to talk about, where all the Spanish members or all the Latina members of the roster, excuse me, have a like recurring segment that's just Latina in jokes. And I imagine it's very funny if you're a Latina. But this is part of that
Latin,
where it's been being
Latinx.
hinted that, yeah, it's part of that where for like the last couple ones, it's being implied that Alex Eperhentes has a drug problem, whereas now they've revealed no, he's just a Kool-Aid drinker.
Yeah.
So that may become important with Dark Order stuff going forward. That's why I thought I'd bring that up.
Isn't he
Um,
also in the Spanish commentary booth?
yes, that's right. I forgot about that. It's him and Dodge. Uh,
Dalsha.
but then we also got another Dark Order segment where all the members are like blaming each other for Hangman not joining, like saying, "Hey, you didn't bring this, you didn't bring that thing. We were gonna have this huge party, and nobody pitched in. The only person who did what they were said was gonna do was Anna, because she said she wasn't gonna do shit. What the hell?" And Colt Cabana's like, "Guys, guys, guys, we didn't get our new member. It sucks, I know. But now we need to focus on team building. We need to look inward. We need to become stronger as a group. And there's only one way to do that." Pan over to fucking 10, who just goes, "Dark Order orgy." That, too, maybe at another time, but I was thinking Slumber Party. And they all go like, "What? Slumber Party!" And because the thing for the last few bits is Colt Cabana is the dad of the Dark Order. He's like, "Now everybody call your parents, tell them to get in contact with me so they can sign permission slips and whatnot." And immediately everybody pulls out their phones except for John Silver, who does this and starts going, "Mom, mom, mom."
Fucking damn it.
And immediately, one of them actually hands the phone to Colt Cabana, and he's like, "Oh, hi, so and so's mom. Yeah, can so and so come over to us to slumber party at the Dark? Oh, they have allergies. I understand. We will take that into consideration." And it's just like chaos for a few seconds before they cut away.
Beautiful. Beautiful.
So there's gonna be a Dark Order slumber party on Monday, and I would be lying if I didn't say I was hype. Uh, Then Chris Statlander kidnapped Jungle Boy, and we got a little bit of them trying to perform the Mentos Coca-Cola experiment in her spaceship. And it didn't go so well because they used the wrong type of Coca-Cola containers. And she was like, "Well, this sucks. Get the hell out of here."
Beautiful.
Yeah. Um, And then we had the number one contenders match for the BTE Championship this week, which was they have like a workout setup behind Daly's place with a bunch of equipment, like pseudo in the parking lot next to the heaters and shit. And so they put up one of the bars as high as it could go on I think it's called a salmon ladder.
Mm-hmm.
And it was like, basically it's suspend yourself from the monkey bars as long as you can. And Sammy Guevara was the first one to go, and he ended up having the longest time. So next week, Sammy Guevara is going to challenge John Silver for the BTE Championship.
Oh man, crossover.
Yeah.
It's an event.
Sammy's vlog was actually really good this week, too. There was a great bit with fucking Matt Hardy pulling Private Party out because they were charging too much and Sammy wasn't willing to pay for it, and also giving Sammy his medical bills from the time he hit him in the face with a chair.
Beautiful.
And then it ended with, because every so often Sammy will go to his PO box and do like a bunch of package openings. He got all the Series 2 AEW figures and then proceeded to play kick the can with the MJF figure. And MJF was livid on Twitter.
But
that was BT.
So Vac,
You didn't watch the Road 2, did you?
let me tell you all about Road to Dynamite, because I did watch it. So first off, we have the person who's going up against Hangman, Adam Page, in not necessarily a built-up match, but it's kind of like they wanted to give some stakes to the fact that Hangman was just kind of fighting a jobber. So they did a little promo for Ryan Nemeth. And if you recognize that last name, you might recognize that as the real name of one WWE superstar, Dolph Ziggler.
Mr. Ziggles.
Yeah, Mr. Ziggleziggs. Mr. Zigglezigga. As the Spice Girls would call him.
Can I just be honest and say, like, I was bored to tears by this promo. It was the most generic, I'm a babyface and I will win promo I've seen in a while.
It was, but, like, if they want to have him around as a person, like, I wouldn't, like, it at least made me go, like, okay, cool, I kind of get who you are.
It's a solid character introduction, and, like, the whole I was in my big brother's shadow in WWE thing, that kind of gives him some stakes. But other than that, it was just kind of bland and generic, and also his voice reminds me of Vitaly Versace, so that was very distracting.
I'm not saying it was great, but I'm just saying, like, they didn't have to go that hard on basically justifying a jobber match. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's true.
Like, they made the jobber an interest. They made a jobber a character. They gave him stakes. They gave him motivation. That even when Hangman wins and you go like, yes, Hangman, there is still that melancholy that you kind of need with a Hangman match, because Hangman can't have anything good. So, like, yeah, Hangman won. But this guy also didn't get to prove his worth like he wanted to, and he still probably feels like he's in his brother's shadow. And it's like, you can't win for winning.
Yeah.
Which is a nice little, like, thing. And I wouldn't mind if he stuck around as, like, a dark jobber.
Mm-hmm. He'll probably be on Dark this week. Maybe like the next couple weeks. We'll see.
I mean, he sold well. He sold like fucking...
I imagine him and Cody probably know each other from OVW.
Oh, very much so. And it might just be like, hey, you just got back. Come do AEW. We'll go light because we only do like one show a week. It'll be an easy paycheck until like the indies start booking again. And then you can go do the indie stuff, because that's where he was. He was doing indie bookings.
Uh-huh.
But next, we have a brilliant little promo, because it bridges that connection of Jericho and Brian Pillman Jr.
It was great. And
commentary this week also during Dynamite talked about this connection, because Jericho trained in the dungeon, the Calgary,
the Heart Dungeon
in Calgary, which is also the training location for Lance Archer, for Chris Benoit, for Brian Pillman. So there's a connection there, but Brian Pillman and Jericho were kind of like ships crossing at the sea, apparently. That they only really talked once before Brian Pillman Jr. passed away.
Brian Pillman Sr.
Brian Pillman, yeah, sorry. So he's basically kind of like, I knew him, we have a connection, but like, it like, you almost hear like a wistful in Jericho's like, I wish I could have known him more. And Brian Pillman Jr. goes like, there's a connection here, and I'm not sure what it is, but like, it's very fascinating because it's not like, oh, you were my father's rival. It's very much more, you were related to my father in some way, and I don't know how, and you don't know how, but I feel like by wrestling you, I can be connected to my father more.
And he was also kind of like, I watched you on WWE and liked you in WWE a lot, without saying WWE.
Yeah, but it was basically like, you are someone. It's a very interesting dynamic. There's no real easy way to describe it, but it's fascinating, and it can only work in wrestling and sports in this kind of way, because the teacher for Brian Pillman Jr. is Lance Archer, who is a former tag team member with Chris Jericho. So, like, there's a lot of interesting dynamic. Griff Garrison was there, too. He had a couple of neat lines. But it was very focused on Jericho and Jr.
Yeah, I don't think we got anything from MJF either.
Yeah. Which is surprising, because MJF, you know.
Yeah.
Then we had Eddie Kingston and Lance Archer kind of going back and forth on their whole on their whole philosophies of life, because Lance Archer is very much a nihilist, very much like maybe almost absurdist. Everybody dies, there's no meaning in everything, so just fuck off kind of thing.
Yeah. And Eddie Kingston's like, yeah, I know everybody dies. I have family that's died. I don't give a fuck. I'm gonna fight you and I'm gonna beat you.
It almost kind of comes across of like Eddie Kingston almost saying, yeah, I long for death. I'll finally be able to sleep. You know, that kind of like, I suffer in this world kind of thing. But it was just
I just realized fucking Eddie Kingston's the nihilistic millennial and Lance Archer's the absurdist zoomer.
Fuck yeah. Goddamn, that like, it's weird when you're talking about their actual ages and shit, because like, no, they're both Gen X.
Yeah.
But speaking of generational differences, we have Jungle Boy and Dax the Axe Harwood talking about just...
I kind of wish they would have put that prefix on his match graphic. They didn't do that during the Dynamite, and I was a little disappointed.
Yeah. But like, they're trying to get it over, and it works, because like, he's a big, chunky, like, working kind of man looking dude.
And his name is a fucking reference to Axe of the Road Warriors.
Yeah. But Jungle Boy and Dax basically go like, Jungle Boy says, hey, I have value as a wrestler. I deserve to be here. I've worked hard. And Dax going, yeah, but you do flips and shit.
We're not doing any carny shit, boy. I'm gonna whip your ass.
Yeah. It's very much like an older generation kind of person, even though they're not that far apart in age. I think Dax Harwood's like, what, early 30s?
I think he's like mid. But yeah.
Like 33, 34.
And Jungle Boy and Darby Allin are like a few months younger than me.
Yeah. But it was just basically like, yeah, no, this is the philosophical divide of wrestling mentality, and also getting over the very one-time off stipulation of this match, which is basically Luchasaurus gets to hold on to Tully and Cash to stop them from interfering.
Yeah.
Which, for a single match, is a good stipulation. It built some nice tension when they were on the outside, and it was fun.
It's very like old school NWA kind of a thing, which is very much Harwood's wheelhouse.
Yeah, like you can definitely that's a great thing about AEW is who's ever kind of not necessarily like writing the angle, but whoever's kind of taking charge and kind of leading
Okay.
the angle, you get different flavors. Like when it's Cody, it's old school NWA, it's old school WCW, maybe a little bit of 90s Attitude Era WCW, but that's kind of the area, the wheelhouse. It's wrestling. Dax and Harwood is very similar, but it's a different flavor of it. It's the it's the ground and pound.
70s.
Yeah, ground and pound 70s. It's grapples, no blood, no big theatrics. While Cody loves the big theatrics. They're same era, but it's the two different styles of that era. And you have Darby basically being one man ECW revival, Sting being there as mid 90s WCW as fuck. Eddie Kingston.
By the way, this is not on the card, but did you hear about somebody tried to fucking pass off an ECW revival the same way there was that fake WCW revival a few months ago?
No.
That happened today.
Oh shit. But you have like Eddie Kingston talking about like King style Japanese wrestling. You have luchadors. You have Joshi. AEW feels a lot more varied in wrestling in terms of what they do.
Mm-hmm.
But in terms of wrestling and what they do, we got some merch news that needs to be talked about because
I want to just do all the merch.
I'm going off the notes that are supposed to be written by both of us, but you write most of them.
Yeah. So do we want to just do all the merch in
we'll
one
just
go,
do
or
that.
do we want to do it in
Okay. We'll do it. So I didn't watch Impact. Did you watch all of Impact?
I watched the clips, but I watched all the clips this week.
Okay.
So the main through line was a thing where it opened with Rich Swann going, "Hey, Tommy Dreamer, your 50th birthday is the same day as Hard to Kill. How about you and I have a title match as a birthday present to you?" And Tommy Dreamer's like, "Wow, thanks. That'd be kind of like a career milestone. I don't know of anybody else who's gotten a title match at 50. Let's do it." And Sami Callihan and Chris Bay are like, "That's fucking bullshit. Why are you giving a title match to an old man? You're just going for an easy shot." And like, look at us. We're cool young guys. We've earned another title shot. And Moose is like, "I thought I was getting a title shot. You turned me down and then tried to beat me up. We're not doing that." And then Ken Shamrock is like, "I am also here."
I am Ken Shamrock.
Yeah. And then they eventually went to a main event, sort of a number one contenders main event kind of thing. But that turned into a 6-man at some point. I didn't quite understand how that happened. Where it was Rich Swann, and Tommy Dreamer, and one other. I can't remember which of these other guys it was. Is a blur. Is days ago. But Trey Miguel, big Impact guy, big indie guy, he fucking returned, and that was a thing that was supposedly exciting. I had never heard of Trey Miguel before. I had to Google him. But him and Willie Mack were in a match, and it was cool. It was nice. We're definitely getting Tommy Dreamer versus Rich Swann at Hard to Kill though, which is okay. Yeah, sure, I'm down.
I know what they're doing. Tommy
What?
Dreamer is a well-beloved fan favorite, classic guy. Everybody just loves who he is, right?
Yeah.
They have a big sportsman match. They do the whole 9 yards. And then Rich Swann wins, and Tommy Dreamer lifts his arm. It's like, well-fought kid. He's the respectful elder. And then bang.
You mean Kenny walks in, or Tommy Dreamer gets shot? Because this is Impact, and either could happen.
Kenny walks in and fucks up Tommy Dreamer. To piss off Rich Swann because he just had no sportsmanship. Fuck you, and to make his claim of like, I want the belt. Give me the belt. Yeah. I want it now. You don't. Thank you for keeping it warm. Give me my belt now.
Mm-hmm. Then we got a match with Matt Cardona teaming with Josh Alexander against Ace Austin and Madman Fulton. Pretty solid little match, just kind of putting over like, hey, Matt Cardona is here now. He is definitely a member of the Impact roster. This is kind of what he's about. And him and Josh Alexander, our perpetual tag team mid-carder floater guy, are kind of hitting it off. And they go backstage, and he's like, "Oh yeah, that's right, Brian, you're also here. What's going on?" And Brian's like, "Fucking, this just work. You work this wrestling show. It's serious business. We'll talk about choice on the podcast. Leave me alone. I'm wearing black and being emo." And then Brian Myers had his match.
Don't embarrass
where,
me. Don't embarrass me in front of my work friends.
yeah, where Eddie Edwards snapped on him because Eddie Edwards had been being tortured by, I believe, Sami Callihan for a few months now in their feud. And I think Eddie Edwards is just turning heel now because even though he won the match with Sami Callihan at what was the last Impact pay-per-view? I watched it and I can't remember.
It starts with an R.
Um,
Retribution? No.
no.
No. Give me a second. It's because it's gonna bug us until we figure it out.
It's bugging me now.
That's what I'm saying, bruv. Okay. Resolution.
Yes, okay. Him and Sami Callihan had a big garbage wrestling match at Resolution that he won, but at a very big personal cost. Kind of, he had to do some heel shit, and now he's angry, and he's possibly doing the Brian Myers thing of turning heel on Brian Myers. And then Tony Khan was also there, and he basically he went from being angry, vindictive heel to being like smug in your face. I'm getting one over on you heel, and I don't think he pulls that one off as well. It was kind of goofy where he's like, "Haha, yes, Impact. My tag team boys are gonna take your titles in a few weeks. Ah ha ha! It's just a game. I'm just playing around with your roster."
See,
And
you
I was
do
like,
that when you win. Don't do
Yeah.
it when you're building it up. Do that when you win.
I feel like he was doing his impression of what Don is doing seriously, and it didn't work.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was Impact. Impact was all right this week.
All right. Already. We're all right. Like
What?
Modest Mouse. Float on.
Oh, yes. Okay. Yeah, I got it.
You,
Very good.
you hear it now.
I understood that. I understood that reference.
You're looking completely the wrong direction.
I like barely remember most of the first Avengers movie.
They fight aliens.
Coulson died.
Question mark.
Puny God?
What? Oh yeah. There's a lot of good like gifs from that movie. That is a great movie to rewatch as a gif.
Indeed.
That's the best way I can put it.
Toys?
So tell me about this capitalistic excess you're indulging in.
Toys, glorious existence validating toys. Well, first
That
off,
I can't participate in because I have no money.
Yeah, your existence is not validated. But
You know what would validate my existence? Fucking following me on Twitter where I post hilarious shit.
hey, boy. But we started off the week, like, I think it was literally Monday afternoon I saw this. Mattel announced that it's not just that Hogan, but basically the next two waves of Ultimates after the one that's currently up for pre-order, which is Macho Man and Return Edge, like Grizzled Royal Rumble Edge. I have both those on pre-order. No, wait, I don't. I canceled. I forgot.
Yeah, you
but
cancel all your pre-orders.
I do want to get both of those, is what I meant to say. Or I should have said. Or I am saying now. And the other thing I'm saying now is that they've announced that there's going to be a Jeff Hardy, an Ultimate Warrior, and a Shawn Michaels in the next 2 waves. Because Ultimates, because they're highly articulated, more accessories, it's 2 figures per wave instead of the 6 elites per wave, and they're $30 instead of $20.
I mean, that's fair when you're getting that many accessories and kind of things.
Yeah, they're basically figure arts with American quality construction because figure arts are shit and they fall apart all the fucking time. I hate them.
My figure arts have never been that bad. The only thing is like accessory pegs, and that's about it. And I had Sentai figure arts, mind you.
That is impressive. But basically the choices for Jeff Hardy are SmackDown December '08, Armageddon '08, or Mania 25. Basically, pick a look for Jeff Hardy from '08 because that was the last time he had a really good run in WWE. I Am I wrong?
No, you're not.
I will probably buy whichever one they pick because unless it's full on Brother Nero or the insane clown posse thing he was doing in TNA,
Willow. He also did
Yeah.
Itchweed.
Unless he's going like full Willow or full Itchweed, I can't tell the difference between Jeff Hardy looks, and I just want a Jeff Hardy to go with my match, so I will get whichever one wins. I don't care. Similar situation with the Ultimate Homophobe, but because I don't want a figure of the Ultimate Homophobe. And Shawn Michaels, I don't care about any of the looks they put up. By the way, the looks for Ultimate Homophobe are Intercontinental Champ, WWF Champ, or General Green Trunks look. Shawn Michaels, you can pick King of the Ring 95, Survivor Series 95, or King of the Ring 96. All iconic early singles run Michaels looks. However, I've not watched any of that run, so I'm definitely not getting this figure. I'm more a fan of Shawn Michaels when he's in a group or when he's like on his deathbed, end of his career, just desperately trying to beat The Undertaker. That's the Shawn Michaels I know and like.
Is one of them the one where he's in like white pants with the motorcycle like boots? Boyhood Dream?
I think they've already done that as an elite, and it's definitely not. These are like the crazy, like the bottle cap vest, I think is one of them. It's that period of Shawn Michaels. So yeah.
The male stripper period. Male stripper period.
Yeah, exactly. 2 of these figures I'm definitely not getting. One of them I am definitely getting if I can.
So let's talk about the toy line that everyone fucking complains about.
Including me a little tonight.
What?
Including me a little bit tonight, but we'll get to that. That's not for a little bit. So we got some AEW Unrivaled Collection Wave 4 leaks. Basically the regular Cody Rhodes, or what we thought was going to be the regular Cody Rhodes, and then turned out to be the Chase Edition. And for a second had me going like, oh shit, I really like that Cody look. I might actually pre-order this Cody. And then they were like, no, it's the Chase Edition. You have no idea if you'll get it or not. And I was like, okay, I can definitely skip that Cody then. And I'll maybe, when I have infinite money as an old man, I'll go back on like fucking eBay and try and get the Chase. And then we also got a leaked image of a TNT champion Cody in like a special packaging. He comes with the belt. It looks like he's doing his entrance basically. And people are theorizing that this is either going to be another ringside exclusive or the first Amazon exclusive because people like will religiously hack into Amazon's database to find unlisted toy things to leak. Like we basically know the entire next year of Power Rangers Lightning Collection that way. And
hack into Amazon to look for toys and not destroy Jeff Bezos. What the fuck is wrong with people? And Minecraft. Destroy Jeff Bezos in Minecraft.
Yes. But there is people basically just found a listing for Cody as well as listings for Wave 4, and so they're going like Amazon exclusive. Um, and then a couple days later, I believe, Jeremy Padower showed us the official images of Wave 4. And we found out that if I can get back to our toys chat and pull these up real quick. Um, we found out that Cody and Matt Hardy are the ones getting the chase. The regular edition Cody is him in the Throne Breaker shirt, and the chase is him in the Pharaoh shirt with the gold tights. I really wanted that look. That's like the best look they've done as a figure so far. So I'm really pissed that it's a chase edition. Um, and the Throne Breaker look is pretty meh, so I'm
Yeah.
definitely not going for it. Um,
Also, the Pharaoh shirt's a Metal Gear Solid reference one.
yeah. Uh, the regular Matt is him in that sleeveless straight jacket that he's been wearing countless variations on for pretty much ever since he did the broken gimmick the first time. And then the rare edition is him in the cool gladiator gear he wore when he was debuting the broken gimmick on AEW. I really would have wanted that look more. Like, I literally. So, long story short, I I got paid today and I got home and I basically went, I'm going to be editing this video all weekend. I'm not going to have time to go toy hunting. Instead of doing that, let's just pre-order the figures from Wave 4 I want. I pre-ordered Sammy, Santana, and Ortiz. I'm not getting Matt Hardy because I already have a Matt Hardy I'm really happy with. And the version of this that would make me pre-order him is a chase, so I have no idea if I get it or not.
Mm.
But Santana and Ortiz do look very good. They come with a shit ton of accessories. Like, Santana comes with an accessory that's a BTE only reference, a fucking flip flop, which is awesome.
No. They gave Chris Jericho flip flops, the Teclados.
Oh yeah, that's right. I forgot about that. Uh, but like Santana has Ortiz has an alternate head where his afro's all poofed out, and it's great. Um,
It's the best.
I think it's literally based off of that moment. Uh, so yeah, I'm
Santana
definitely excited to be
also
getting both of
has
them.
the bandana covering eye patch thing.
Yeah,
Punish
uh,
Santana.
punched Santana indeed. I was surprised to see Sammy Guevara comes with the "Hit Me Up" sign because that was kind of a later thing of his, but it's a welcome addition. And I decided to pre-order that figure and pay up front because it looks slightly better than the render did. Like, I'm still not happy about the tongue sticky outy thing, but it's like I can live with it.
I
I'm gonna
mean,
put him in his jacket and his sunglasses and holding the sign and just have him perpetually standing next to Jericho.
yeah. I mean, it's his look.
Mm-hmm.
At least, I mean, it's not like they did the fucking panda thing, which he only did before he did Inner Circle.
Yeah, I think he literally only did that at the Double or Nothing Battle Royal. Uh, And then Padower also gave an update that said, like, at some point in the next few waves, they are going to be upping the numbers on chases and rares because people are really interested in them and they want more collectors to be able to get into them. Which, nice sentiment and everything, but I saw that and I immediately went, why don't you just, like, not do the numbered chase variant thing? Why don't you just have them be one per case so they're still somewhat limited, but it doesn't create this artificial scarcity Nintendo Switch level bullshit?
Because they want that artificial scarcity, bruh.
I just don't see how they profit off of it because, like, the only people who are going to be charging out the ass for it are secondary market. Those things still sell at retail for the normal price.
Yeah, but it's a guarantee sell. How many, like, I'm no saying this about Unrivaled is kind of like bass backwards because you can never fucking find them in stores. But
Mm-hmm.
on a hypothetical level, if you were to do that, you don't know how long any of those figures are ever going to be on pegs, even the rare ones. So in that regard, by making them extremely limited, you know you have guaranteed sales because of how many people will go search for them and how many people will scalp them. At the end of the day, they don't give a shit how much more money they could be making. They just give a shit that they are guaranteed in a certain amount of profit.
Okay, but that's worse. You do understand how that's worse,
Oh,
right?
I am not excusing that. I am just saying like that's the mindset. They are basically using scalpers as guaranteed income.
Hmm. And it's also just annoying to me because, like, fucking Mattel with their WWE line has a better way of doing this that they've been doing for like a decade now. Of every figure in Elite Wave is two per case, except for the variant, the one that has a variant, and you get one of the regular and one of the variant in the case. And I'm like, still makes them kind of rare and hard to find, but not to an asinine pulling your hair out level.
I'm not saying it's good, but I'm just saying like there is a logic behind it.
Yeah, it's just like that was the thing that I wanted to complain about because like I posted a comment on the subreddit when somebody posted that tweet saying the same exact thing because like as soon as I saw that I was just so irritated. That's been like the number one complaint I've had with this line so far is just like fucking numbered variants are such a 90s ass like old school collector thing that does not need to be a part of modern figure photography era collecting. um but then, I believe just today, we got a leaked image, very much the same way that Wave 4 originally leaked, and then Padour had to announce the lineup so quick that I didn't even notice it had leaked. Um, we got Unrivaled Series 5 leaked via a card back for Lucha freaking
Fucking
Saurus,
Saurus.
finally getting his figure. I'm excited for that. I'm also excited because we're getting a new John Moxley, and I still have yet to secure a John Moxley from Series 2, so I'm just going to wait and pre-order this when it goes up. Uh, Scorpio Sky and Frankie Kazarian, and judging by those pictures, they will be coming with the tag belts, so you know I need those.
Yeah.
And a Hangman Adam Page, which will probably be like slightly updated because people weren't quite happy with the face sculpt on him.
And
Uh,
the feet.
yeah, uh, and then again, Luchasaurus, because it does bear mentioning again. Big Dino Boy, I'm excited. And Jungle Boy is getting his first
Away,
ever
away,
action
away,
figure.
away, away. And
Yeah.
probably his last for a bit, because he doesn't have any alternate ring gear.
Yeah.
Neither does Luchasaurus.
Mm-hmm.
Like, that's kind of a smart thing. I think a good couple of the bigger stars have done is they've tried to vary up their look so they can get more figures. And
Well, that's because those people are also from WWE, and they learned back there. Oh, every time you change your gear, they'll make a figure of it.
because collectors will buy it.
Mm-hmm. Also, I
I mean,
find
besides
it.
the Bucks just probably go like, yeah, just having more gear gave them more opportunities for T-shirts, but now it gives them more opportunities for toys.
Mhm. Also, I find it funny that you bring that up because after Series 4 was officially revealed, Britt Padour just tweeted one final announcement. Britt Baker is not in Series 5. That is all. And then in response, Britt Baker posted a leaked image of Series 5, which was just a bunch of photoshopped Codys in nonsensical gear, Brandy in a gear she's never worn, a stand-in for Pharaoh, and a baby stroller, which was hilarious.
Oh yeah, and there was the fucking tweet thread I like posted on the toy area of my server. They posted it there. I also posted it on the Unrivaled subreddit,
Oh, nice.
where Jeremy was talking about another toy line he's kind of in charge of or part of Micro Machines,
Mm-hmm.
which is tiny cars.
Yeah.
And it was just like, hey, we're doing licensed cars now again. Look at these guys, don't they look neat? And then he replied to himself, I'll figure out a way to put a Cody Rhodes figure in this line too.
And then I was immediately like, no, but I would actually like Cody's pickup, FTR's pickup, Trent's mom Sue's van, the fucking golf cart. Just, I'll take it. Yeah, I'll start buying Hot Wheels for AEW.
Moxley's GT, Ford GT.
Yes! The if you just want to fill out a wave, the limousine Inner Circle was riding in Las Vegas.
Yeah. There's something else you could do. There's something else there that you could. I don't know. But yeah, that's all the toy shit, isn't it?
Yeah, I think so.
I don't get why people are complaining about all the fucking repaints.
It's just because people are. It's probably people who haven't collected before coming into this because they're AEW fans first, and they're just wanting their favorites to get a figure already, not understanding how toy lines normally work. Not just this day and age, but always. There's a lot of parts reuse, a big name characters, especially starting in the last like 10, 15 years. You always do more and more figures of the big name characters. Like Optimus Prime and Megatron get like 2 to 5 figures per year from Hasbro now.
Yeah. But it's just annoying because they like announce, oh, Scorpio, Frankie Kazarian, Adam Page, like Luchasaurus, Jungle Boy, and then someone will just go like, why the fuck is Hangman and Moxley there? Well, they already got figures. Yeah, that's why they're there.
Complained about those figures, and they're going, oh, there's new gear. We can do some fixes here. Yeah, okay, here, make the people who want their perfect version happy.
Yeah.
It's the same thing as people complaining about the Star Wars Black Series archive waves. Well, I already bought this one. You're devaluing my old figure. Hasbro doesn't care. They just want to sell more toys, man. And if they can slightly update that face printing, of course they're going to go and do that because they both care about money and they care about collectors being able to do as cool a figure photography as possible. And I feel like Hasbro is the same way.
In my opinion, you should never collect anything, any physical object, for value. You collect it because you want to collect it.
Yeah.
Like, if you collect a thing and you go like, oh, but the value is diminished. Fuck that. There's certain, and here's the thing, that's not all parts of a collection. Like, if I ever had Amazing Fantasy number 15, no, fuck that. That's going in a fucking vault.
Yeah.
You know? But, like, these shits, like, this comic stuff, no, I'll fucking buy it, read it, put it back in its bag, take care of it. But, like, I'm not gonna cry a river when it goes down to, like, a 50-cent price range. You know?
Yeah.
Because that's not the point. The point is, like, oh, I got Spider-Man.
I like that. It's nice. I want it.
Yeah. It's shiny.
Have you heard of things? Would you like to own things?
I too would like to own things.
Please come and purchase things at my nice things stall.
Ooh, I like this thing.
I've got all kinds of things. I've got Ben Grimm. I've got Thing from the Addams Family. I've got the Thing from Another World. I've got no more Thing references.
Thing.
I've got Fing Fang Foom.
All right.
That's a Build-A-Figure Hasbro really needs to redo.
No. That's a HasLab.
Ooh. I feel like they would do Galactus before they do that.
Yeah, but dude, imagine a Galactic, like imagine a Sentinel scaled Fing Fang Foom.
That'd be
stretch goal. Mole Man. Tell me that's not a good idea. So Rochambeau, or Who Starts Dynamite?
Oh shit! I got stuff on my hands.
What the fuck?
I was holding a yogurt pretzel for like 5 minutes and it melted in my hands.
Just fucking eat it, bro.
Fucking there's stuff on my yogurt all over my hand. I don't want to be licking my hands in the stream. It's unprofessional.
Then tell me, change the camera.
Be smart, which I am not. Anyways, rock, paper, scissors.
Fuck off. I was so ready.
Okay, fine, you call it.
All right, fine. We start with Eddie Kingston. I thought that's what you meant. Going up against the Murder Hawk Lance Archer. What the fuck are you going at?
I'm telling you to go.
I am going.
Okay, keep going.
Bitch. Fuck off. You don't get to be on screen now. Murder Hawk Lance Archer with Jake the Snake Roberts. Basically, I think this is like the cementing of Lance Archer is now a monster babyface, not just a heel.
He's Braun Strowman from the Nicholas era.
Yeah, but better. He's better.
Yeah.
At that. Basically, they come out. Lance Archer says, "Hey, Jake, you know what? Head to the back. I don't want you to get hurt. I can take care of this." Up against Eddie Kingston, and of course the family is supposedly staying backstage, but they aren't, because the Butcher and the Blade come out dragging
Jake the Bunny!
I was getting to that. Come out pulling Jake the Snake Roberts to kind of distract Lance Archer. All the while, the Bunny comes in with some knuckle dusters, hands them to Eddie Kingston so he can get the cheating win, the damn dirty cheater.
Yeah, that Ric Flair, that Miz, that oh, he fell over, I pin now. That whole thing.
Yeah.
I feel like this match was good, but probably not for me. It was a little too much slugfest and not in much. I can't believe I'm saying this, but there wasn't much psychology except for like a couple of spots, and then the end was very fun. Yeah. Just because it was classic heel shit.
I think it's partially
enjoy early on when Eddie got fucking slammed to the outside and he started convulsing like he was having a seizure. That was hilarious and awesome.
Not real seizures. Audience, real seizures are not fun.
No. Real seizures are not hilarious. When you're selling a injury that is not a seizure like you're having a seizure, it's hilarious.
Yes. I just want to remind the audience. Take care of people who are having seizures by calling 911 and actually look up seizure protocol, because I don't know it off the top of my head. But it's useful information to have, because people are out there and it's always nice to help them. I don't think this was a blow-off match. This felt more like continued setup.
A between.
Yeah. Especially when you have Lance Archer now being a tweener. But I think this match was a good one to continue their feud, but also solidify what side of the aisle they're both on. That's about it. And apparently some people missed it because some weird fucky streaming shit happened.
Yeah, TNT's feed was all fucked up last night. Like, some people couldn't get the beginning of the show, and then, like, for me, my feed that I was watching live, like, started skipping around to different points in the show after this match, and I had to just, like, close it out, and then I started going to the parts, and then it was doing that shit too, so I had to wait until they uploaded the big hour-long part 1 and part 2 on that website we use to watch wrestling, but probably shouldn't actually say the name of because it's not quite legal.
Yeah. We are a pirate. Yo ho, fiddly dee.
This is me.
Yes.
Okay. John Moxley is out back at like a construction site or something, and he basically cuts a promo, basically going like, "Hey, remember how last week I said I didn't quite know what was happening anymore? I think I figured it out. Here's my conspiracy board. None of it quite makes any sense. Why am I teaming with this guy who used to hate my guts from Britain? Ah, fuck it. I get to hit Kenny Omega next week. Let's do it."
Yeah, basically pointing out how all the elite shit has just been kind of going down, and giving basically a very economical way of getting people caught up on the elite storyline, while also letting John Moxley cut a promo and hype up a new match.
Hmm. And then say like the most ridiculous man stereotype ever is him in a nutshell. I like my coffee hot, my beer cold, and my sex in the morning.
I mean, I can't imagine John Moxley saying anything else.
Hmm.
That's a very John Moxley. Yeah, yeah.
Like we were talking about last week, how a big part of John Moxley's character is "fuck you, you don't control me." But another part of his character is just, and this is why he's that huge baby face that you want to be the champion, is he is just the most badass straight guy a straight guy can possibly be, and you wish you were him if you're a straight
I'm
guy.
being called. I'll be right back.
Okay. Check.
Now, continuing about how John Moxley is an everyman boy.
He is he is he is like he's kind of like our generation's version of James Bond in a way, where you imagine every straight woman wants to have sex with him, and every straight guy wants to be him.
Yeah,
But he is a married man, and he's going to be a father very soon. So step off. Don't be a homewrecker. That's rude.
yeah. It's also weird that he talked about having sex in the morning like it's a regular occurrence, and we all know who his wife
Well,
is.
it probably was up until like a month ago.
Yeah, but it's just kind of like, okay, bro, you know,
Like, let me lay it out this way. I have listened to shoot interviews with John Moxley where he's joked about, like, oh yeah, COVID's great. Me and the wife have nothing to do, so we're just doing it all over the house 24/7.
oh god, oh, ah man. But speaking of doing it all over, Darby Allin and Sting are in a decrepit area, and they're basically going like,
It
"Hey,
was a crack house. It was totally a crack house that during the day is used by skateboarders.
yeah, yeah, yeah." But basically, Sting's cutting a promo for him and Darby because Darby's brooding. He's so emotional. There's so much inside him. So many metaphors he is, bruh. Why did I turn into Triple H?
Mm.
But basically, Sting goes like, "Oh, you're calling my boy a hoodlum. Oh, are you a hoodlum, Darby?" And then Darby just takes a skateboard and breaks a window, and he goes like, "Yeah, I'm kind of a hoodlum." And Sting goes like, "Yeah." And so he takes, and then Darby goes like, "What about you?" And he takes his bat and he breaks a couple more windows, and he just stares at the camera and goes like, "Guess I'm a bit of a hoodlum too. See you later, Taz." Basically going like, "Oh, you're just gonna call us pieces of shit? Alright, fine, we're just gonna fuck you up more then."
Mm-hmm. Uh, so I kind of hated this promo when I first saw it because
Okay.
I thought it felt really stiff and really awkward. However, now I've kind of come around to it, especially with your synopsis there, where now I see it as, oh, Darby's the punky emo kid who's been called into the principal's office, and Sting is his aging punk dad who's just like, fuck you, my kid's an individual. He can do what he wants. We don't even have to go to this school, man. I kind of like that.
Yeah. But also, like, they can fuck you up.
Yeah.
He has a switchblade. Like, that's how he walks into the principal's office. Darby's sitting there, and the principal, Taz, is sitting there going, like, alright, shouldn't have beat up my kid. Fuck you. And then Sting walks in, boots the door in, brings out a sling blade, slams it in the table, going, like, what's up? Do you want a coffee?
You got some shit.
Yeah, but he's, like, the most polite person possible. He's like, hey, well, how are you doing?
Yeah, because remember, Sting's just a guy.
Sting's just a dude. He's a nice dude, but you piss him off.
He is a very scary man, but also if you're nice to him, he'll just give you a hug and say, hey, how's it going, buddy?
Yeah.
I heard you did well on your math final. Bringing the school thing on it.
Yeah. But, yeah, no, I like this because it really was a neat dynamic between Darby and Sting. Because it was very much like Sting understanding Darby is like, yeah, no, you brood, be that, harness it.
It feels like since last week they've had some time to bond and kind of get to know each other instead of just being like, who the fuck are you? Who the fuck are you?
Why do you look like me but slightly older? Why do you look like me but slightly younger?
Yeah.
But it's good. I dig it, and it ties nice back into a later promo, which we'll talk about later.
Yeah. But then we went back to the ring for MJF and Chris Jericho with the Inner Circle versus the Varsity Blondes. This was a very solid tag match. It wasn't great, it wasn't fantastic, but it was solid.
Oh yeah, no. It did put over Brian Pillman Jr. and Griff Garrison, and I was like, oh, no, they're solid. They're good. I'd like to see more. Dope.
I like how Griff Garrison is now starting to play into the Edge comparisons, where he did, like, Edge's hair flailing warm-up for a final assault at one point during the match.
Yeah. No, they're solid. They look good, but they needed to move the Inner Circle story more along, so MJF went like, hey, Sammy, we need to talk. We need to hash things out.
Yeah. And then Jericho won the match, pinning Pillman after hitting him with a Judas effect, and then a picture-perfect lion soul, where immediately afterwards he looked the camera dead in the eye, like, yeah, motherfuckers, I know I botched it last week. This is a makeup. Now get off my ass.
I ain't that old, bitch.
Mm-hmm. Also, he's been posting pictures of his abs all flexed on Instagram because a bunch of basketball fans called him fat.
Goddamn, Chris Jericho's the most insecure middle-aged man ever.
Yep. And it just makes his character better, so I don't care.
Chris Jericho is a high school boy in a middle-aged man's body.
Yep.
But next, we had a little package of Pac discussing Kenny Omega and basically how he's gotten a little bit too big for his britches. But you wrote bridges. Did he say bridges or britches?
It probably just auto-corrected to bridges.
Yeah. And he's lost his way, and they're gonna fight. So yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Gonna fight.
I like how in AEW, Pac is kind of acting as like this very aggressive, sober companion who just every once in a while comes in and goes, Kenny, you're not being the Kenny Omega everybody thinks you can be. The fuck? I'm gonna beat you until you're Kenny Omega everybody thinks you can be. Because that's what both their feuds have kind of been.
Yeah. It's your boy.
Then we get... I know, I was trying to chew. We get a... I'm gonna... You know what? I'm putting these away. The pretzels are done for tonight, people. But then we get a quick replay of Shaq calling out Cody at the AEW Awards, basically saying like, Cody, you've been firing shots. Your lady friend threw water on my face when I was just trying to be nice. You look like a girl because you have bleach blonde hair. Let's have that fight. You can have it whenever you want it. How about March? Revolution, it happens in March. Let's have it in March. This match is going to be at Revolution.
Yeah. And Cody's going to carry it to a 3-star match.
Yep. And also I should mention that this promo was at the AEW Awards. I have yet to watch the AEW Awards, so the results are not in this card.
Yeah. I mean, it's the hype up. Oh, this guy won a thing. Ah.
Yeah. But it was fan voted, so I feel like it's more of a legit reward.
Yeah, but it's also,
Award,
I have
so.
a feeling the people that they nominated were very much plants. It was very much,
Yeah.
we will work with whichever one you want, but you are working within our angles, you know?
Mm-hmm. And I mean, like, we did report all the report. We talked about all
we report the same
all
way
the
that
nominees.
Wrestle Talk reports. We read other people's shit and parrot it.
Yeah. We talked about all the nominees, so we should probably talk about the results at some point. Probably next week when I've had time to watch the actual award show.
Yeah. But, do you want to just
You can
continue
take
with the
next
Cody
one.
Rhodes stuff? Because it's your boy?
I mean, if you'll let me, I would gladly do
Talk
that.
about your boy! Talk about your boy, boy!
Tony Schiavone is down in the ring. He welcomes Cody and Arn Anderson. Cody gets on the mic and basically says that like he really wanted to be out here pitching a mixed tag of him and Brandy versus Jade and Shaq, but that can't happen now because Brandy's pregnant. So he gives the mic over to Arn because he basically says in times like these, when he's more focused on other things, he relies on Arn to be his conscience. And Arn is basically like, look, when you were being born, your dad worked his ass off to make sure there would be food on the table, but he was there for the birth. You don't have to worry about that with this match. There's plenty of time in between this match and Brandy's due date. So let's focus on this match. Now, it's got to be a mixed tag. The question is, who's going to be the partner? And everybody immediately goes Red Velvet, and he builds and hints for another few minutes, and then Red Velvet comes out and basically goes, I'm going to stir her bitch ass up. Because that's what Red Velvet sounds like. Yeah, that's the match. We are getting Cody and Red Velvet versus Shaq and Jade at Revolution. And I could not be more underwhelmed.
This is going to be a fine. Oh, that was a neat novelty match.
Mm-hmm.
It's gonna go 10, 15 minutes.
Like, when I, as a Cody Rhodes fan, am like, I could kind of give less of a shit about this match. I feel like it's probably the least exciting match on the card.
It's a match that feels like very much like a contract obligation. It's like TNT wants to have cross promotion with AEW. We have Shaq. He's big and kind of tough. We could use Shaq. Shaq would probably be the best person to have in a wrestling match that's on TNT's like talent pool.
He owns a Papa John's. There could be free wrestling. There could be free pizza at the wrestling catering. Would you guys like that?
And it feels
hard.
It feels very much like Cody is the only one of the wrestling executives that could realistically have this match have it make sense. It is the obligated tie-in to a major event comic. It kind of makes sense, but it doesn't really, and it's just there to be a contractual obligation.
Mm-hmm.
But one thing I do enjoy about this whole thing was Arn's promo, because I talked about this with you before we did the podcast. The best way I can describe this felt like Arn was being Old Man Logan.
Mm-hmm.
A man who fought Cody's father for years, for decades, and saw the toll that took on both of them. And now Dusty's gone, and he's left all alone, and it's like, oh. He was probably one of the closest things to a friend I ever had, and we hated each other. I need to do right by his boy. I need to do right by his boys. I need to make sure that they don't follow down my path, down his path, that they forge a new path, that the sins of the fathers do not get laid bare at the children.
Yeah. And also, I totally headcanon that him and Tully go out drinking every weekend, or probably stay in drinking every weekend right now. And at one point, Tully tried to bring this up to him, like, what the fuck are you doing with that road skid? And Arn just immediately shut it down, and now they have a standing agreement to never talk about work.
Yeah, because I have a feeling Tully's one of the four horsemen that just still hates Dusty to this day. It's like, fuck Dusty.
Uh-huh.
Fuck him. He like, how much did he fuck us over when we were just trying to make a name for ourselves and stake our claim? And Arn's just like, no, you haven't learned. You haven't learned the lesson.
Mm-hmm.
Especially when we remember both Arn and Dusty were in WWE as producers.
And meanwhile, Ric Flair's just off in WWE going, ha ha, I'm screwing over my daughter and having sex with a woman who's a third of my age. Woo!
I'm getting paid to touch tits.
That is the Ric Flair lifestyle, ladies and gentlemen.
God day, it's gonna be a.
I want to hate that angle, but it's just so on brand for Flair that I'm like, I can't.
Isn't he
I
married now?
He is. He's been married like 5 times, dude. But it's like the most sexist thing on WWE right now, and yet I'm like, but it's so on brand for Ric Flair. I can't hate it. Also, I'm saying this as somebody who hasn't actually watched any of it.
I've seen GIFs. That's about it.
Yeah.
No, I think. What was I supposed to say? Yeah, whatever. Next up, though, we had a little promo hyping up a thing next week. We're finally getting the wedding angle with Kip Sabian and Penelope.
It's the first time Kip and Penelope have genuinely seemed in love.
Yeah, I mean, they are a genuine couple, and I don't think it's at all for show that they do genuinely care about each other. It's just hard to portray that when you're assholes on TV and not make that feel insincere.
On kayfabe, they've just been constantly going, ha ha, we're heels, chicanery, ha. And here they're like, no, this is the man of my dreams, and this is the most gorgeous woman ever, and I can't wait to marry her, and blah.
And Miro's just standing there with a smile on his face. It's like, yes, beautiful people, making more beautiful people.
Yeah.
With Charles, his butler.
Mm-hmm. I love how just the end of it is him going like, and Charles the butler, Charles, he's gonna be the wedding.
He's gonna be the ring bearer.
Forget about the best man thing.
The bachelor party.
At best, Billy Mitchell is going to be in the crowd next week.
Yeah. I mean, to an extent, I understand why they didn't do it, because I think the big part of the bachelor party was to get a bunch of fun cameos.
Mm-hmm.
And you can't really do that in a COVID setting unless you do it like how they did the Vegas thing for Inner Circle, which was like one cameo at a time. Yeah, one cameo at a time. They run into someone. You can't do that with a bachelor party because it's usually in one location and it's meant to be like, oh, everybody's together.
Yeah.
So I'm okay with them not doing it for safety reasons.
Definitely. I'm just sad we'll never see Billy Mitchell on AEW again. Probably, maybe, I don't know. because that was just such a bizarre cameo, and I wanted to see where it would go.
Imagine if it wasn't Billy Mitchell. Imagine if it was someone like the fucking angry video game nerd.
Him or like fucking. This wouldn't happen, but it would make me so happy if it was Scott the Lost.
Hey y'all!
And the bachelor party is literally just one of those Scott the Lost videos at the fucking clubhouse with all of his friends.
God damn, that'd be so dumb.
Yeah. And all the wrestling fans are like, what the fuck? What is this? This isn't wrestling comedy.
This is actually funny.
uh,
I'm kidding.
But,
AEW is funny.
Yeah, AEW can be very funny when it wants to be. Speaking on something that's not funny, Hangman Adam Page versus the Hollywood hunk Ryan Nemeth. Hangman Adam Page, first time I paid attention to the lower thirds in a while, being accompanied by crippling emotional baggage. Same.
Yeah, mood.
But this was a solid little match. Didn't really catch my eye that much, except for a certain someone hanging out at ringside, because after I think like 2 or 3 minutes, Big Money Matt just walks out from the back and he's like, what's going on here? Go Hangman! And then eventually Hangman does win with a buckshot lariat. And then Tony Schiavone runs up with the microphone and he's like, hey, what's going on? Big Money Matt, why are you here? Hangman Adam Page wanted to talk to him. And Matt basically goes like, I just wanted to give Hangman my support. He seems like he's going through a lot. I saw him dressing alone in the hallway by catering. Dark Order and the Bucks have just kind of been dicks. They clearly just wanted to use him. So, you know what, Hangman? You're a good boy. You deserve happiness. There's a lot of room in my dressing room if you want to come change in there. No strings attached. Don't worry. This totally isn't setting up a storyline where you get horribly abused again and it makes everybody sad.
God, oh god.
You know that's exactly where this is going.
Oh, because here's the thing, we all know Matt is like a pretty cool dude in general in real life. So it's like, oh, okay, they're trying to inject some of that real personality back into Big Money Matt of like, yeah, he's a scrupulous business bastard, but like he'll care about people in a genuine sense. And then you just said that, and I was like, no, that is the route they're going though.
Yeah, because he's gonna lure Hangman in with promises of, no, I'm just being nice, cool dude, and then he'll go like, you know, I could probably get you some higher profile matches and some exposure if you just sign a contract with me. It's no big deal. Private Party, they signed a contract with me. They're doing good. They're the Impact Tag Team Champions now. Hopefully, probably, maybe, I don't know. Guys, you're happy with what's going on between us, right? Yeah, man, it's cool. We're still not happy about the free. Yeah, shut up. So go ahead and sign Hangman, and then Hangman will end up getting abused because the contract will have some chicanery in there that will take advantage of him, and then Hangman will find a way out of the contract, and then they'll have a big cathartic pay-per-view match, which will set up Hangman as a fiery babyface again, possibly go starting on a path after Kenny finally. That's what I'm predicting.
I don't think
Hangman needs something to do while Kenny gets all the belts.
I don't think it will go so far as he'll actually sign a contract.
That's fair. I mean, it doesn't have to have an exact amount.
Yeah. No, I'm just saying, like, I don't think they're gonna name a wrestling angle that hinged on the technicalities of a legal contract that was good.
RT, stick around to them.
What was that?
It was that one, that one.
All right, do you just want to go to the next thing and stop bullshitting yourself?
Yeah. Yeah. It's your thing.
Oh, it is me. I thought it was
Yeah.
you for a second.
How about
there.
that?
Would you look at that? Look at us. Fucking up a podcast that we run.
Who'd have thought? Everybody, because we do this on a weekly basis.
Yeah, yeah. Eh. Okay, hold on. I was checking the YouTube stream because it's on a different web page. But Dax and Cash, yeah, with Tully versus Jungle Boy and Luchasaurus and Marco. Kinda, he's there in the beginning. Come
Yeah, I
out.
was writing that as they were making their entrances.
Yeah, they were coming out with the stipulation that Luchasaurus will be handcuffed to Tully and Cash. And they have a
Shout out to Charlie Hardcastle getting name dropped on Dynamite. Dude's a huge star on the Sammy Guevara vlogs, and it was cool to see him getting something to do. He's Griff Garrison's long lost father.
okay.
Kayfabe.
I figure, but like okay. But basically, it's a fun little match. Dax is surprised by how well Jungle Boy wrestles a traditional style with the additions of his flippy acrobatic maneuvers, and he's taken aback so much that Jungle Boy is able to lock him in a submission.
Yeah. It's basically the STF, like slightly modified to also grab the legs, but he calls it the snare trap.
Yeah, which is kind of like a nice little rub it in the face for FTR. It's like, you lost to a genuine wrestling move.
Mm-hmm.
But after the match, when Tully and Cash are being uncuffed, they went like, all right, fuck all this shit, fuck losing, fuck all of it, and powder face Luchasaurus and start beating up Luchasaurus and Jungle Boy. They take out some scissors because they're pissed off. They're not pissed off at Luchasaurus being a good wrestler. They're pissed off that Luchasaurus is a good... Being called. I'll be right back. I'm going to the screen. So back to why they were beating up Luchasaurus after the match. Because basically, I just quoted verbatim when I asked what we were talking about, and yeah. Basically, Luchasaurus can wrestle. He's a good he can do shit. He's good. But they hate that he feels like he has to dress like a dinosaur to do anything. It's like, no, just wrestle good. That's it.
Yeah. And then they cut off his horns, and Marco and Top Flight and SCU came out to make the save.
Yeah, because they're about to cut off Jungle Boy's hair. Because he's a long-haired hippie, apparently.
Yeah. We're gonna shave your head, boy, make you look like me, boy. What it sounds like. I'm not one of them wrestlers you've been fighting with.
All right.
Team Taz is out back by one of the merch trucks, which is weird because do they really need merch trucks when they have such a limited ground? But he basically says, like, Darby and Sting, you guys are pissing us off. We're gonna fuck you up at Revolution, just like my boys are about to fuck these guys up. And so Ricky, Brian, and Hook all go up and just start destroying the merch stand and throwing the guys around because the merch stand has nothing but Sting merchandise on it. Somebody said there was Darby stuff. I didn't see any Darby stuff.
There was Darby hanging on the wall behind them.
Okay. But I just saw a couple Sting shirts, so they're like, what the fuck, man? Why ain't you got no Team Taz? Because this is what Will Hobbs sounds like. Why ain't you got no Team Taz, man?
I like how Hook is kind of like the instigator of this little thing. It's like, no, he throws the first punch.
Yeah. Hook just like fucking decks a guy, and then Will Hobbs picks a guy up, throws him through a guardrail, picks him up again, spikes him against the truck, and I think Brian picks up the other guy and bombs him through the table.
I hope the guy who got like spiked into the truck got like another $50 for that bomb, because goddamn.
Yeah.
I felt mine that compress.
I think that was Ryzen. I couldn't quite make him out because of how dark it was, but it looked like Ryzen to me.
I'm glad that like some of the friends of more influential wrestlers are getting like at least a little bit of a paycheck in AW, because he's like Matt Hardy's boy.
Mm-hmm. But that was that promo.
Yeah, I really like how Hook is integrated into Team Taz as, like, for lack of a better way of describing it, they're scrappy do.
I was about to say that. Except instead of the entire mystery gang going scrappy, no, the Team Taz goes scrappy, yes.
They encourage it. It's like, yeah.
Taz, your kid is awesome.
I know. He comes from my loins.
I picture Taz saying that Brooklyn accent. Oh my God. That is way funnier than it should be. I'm sorry.
Nah. I hate to put, like, Hook is a fun character in this just because he's the younger brother that's trying really hard to be cool in the friend group. I'm just talking about, like, the 4 roster members of Team Taz.
Yeah.
Not, like, Taz's dad.
Yeah.
But these, like, he's trying to be cool to his older brother, Brian Cage, and, like, he's trying to be cool, but, like, they understand he's trying, and so they, like, encourage and help lead him in a cool direction. Yeah. It's like...
And the thing is, like, comparatively, they're all chill. This kid is so hype and so eager to prove himself that he'll start doing shit and they'll go like, oh yeah, that's right, we're heels. We should be beating people up. Good idea, Hook.
Yeah, like, it's a fun dynamic. Also, he's kind of cool in, like, streetwear. It's a different vibe than Ricky Starks, who's, like, Miami chic. That'd be a good way to describe it.
Fancy boy.
And Will Hobbs is like Jim Bro Rat. No, Brian Cage is Jim Bro Rat.
Will Hobbs is. I hope this isn't stereotypical to say this. He is straight out of Compton.
Yeah, but it's a respect. He is respectable.
Yeah.
That sounds even worse. He dresses like he is going to his job professionally.
Uh huh.
That's that's what I was trying to say.
Yeah.
God damn it, we're white. I'm just iterating. I am just iterating. You are not fucking Wanda in WandaVision.
Doing the backstroke.
I know you're having a stroke.
Exactly. Speaking of having a stroke, there was a Britt Baker match next.
God damn it! Why are you talking about Adam Cole? Get the joke?
That fat ass.
But basically, we have a women's match: Britt Baker, DMD, with Reba, not Rebel, versus Shayna.
Shayna's back on Dynamite.
Yeah, she moved to
in
America.
5 months.
I have a feeling she was gonna be more, and then COVID happened, and then she was like, "Fuck it, I'm moving to America," and then more.
I want to be the next Hikaru Shida, so I'm gonna do the Hikaru Shida thing of immigrating.
Yeah, I mean, it definitely probably makes it easier to travel within America.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
Yeah,
that kind of thing. But
and like I joked, but this was a much better Britt Baker match than we've been getting for a while because they've been treating her with kid gloves ever since the injury, and I feel like here they kind of took one of those gloves off.
Yeah, it was. I wouldn't say it was a squash match. It was still very dominant on Britt Baker. But again, they're trying to build her up as like a major heel within the women's division, so it makes sense. She wins with the mandible claw.
Lockjaw.
Yeah, it's a mandible claw.
But like, be respectful. Call it the name that wrestler has for it.
Lockjaw. The dog
Good
from
boy.
the Inhumans.
Good. Yeah.
She wins, and she goes like, "Yeah, I celebrate." They do the thing, and then she goes back and starts doing it again and applying it some more, and basically healing it up some until flippity flopping Thunder Rosa comes down after her theme song plays for like a good 5 seconds before she enters. It's like, okay.
Oh shit, that's my music.
She beats she basically gets Thunder DMD Britt Baker out of there and goes like, fuck you. Fuck you, we're gonna fight next week.
I get the feeling she was actually looking for a fight and she was pissed off that Britt ran. And then she was like, "Oh yeah, Shanna. I'll check on Shanna."
Oh, I was saving you? I just wanted to fight her. I didn't know I was saving you. I did a good thing. I'm getting an extra scoop of ice cream tonight.
What the fuck is this podcast?
Thunder Rosa ice cream enjoyer.
For wrestling tees, I expect that shirt on my desk in the morning. Did I get the next thing?
Yes.
MJF is backstage. MJF is backstage looking for Sammy Guevara. He finds him at the bar and apologizes for Wardlow interfering, leading to MJF winning last week. And he basically says, like, "Hey, it's fucking Wardlow's fault. I know you're pissed off, but things went the way they did. We got to live with it. However, I am docking Wardlow's pay for this week because of it. You know what? This is gonna be good. We're gonna get through this. It's gonna be great, right, Sammy?" And he's like, "Cut the crap. I know you're manipulating everybody. I'm sick and tired of pretending like I'm gonna buy into it for everybody else's sake. This is bullshit. I see through it. You're gonna betray us eventually, and when you do, I'll be there to punch you in the dick." And he's like, "You really want to play it that way?" And Sammy goes, "I'm not playing." And that was a solid promo.
Yeah. and then they touched dicks.
They did that thing where they stare each other down so closely that they might as well kiss.
Also known as the shipper bait.
Uh-huh. Just once, I'd like to see one of those angles where one of the wrestlers, like the more cheeky of the two, goes ahead and does the kiss really quick just to fuck with the other one.
I mean, dude, there was an MMA dude who did that shit.
Mm-hmm.
Have you seen that?
Like, if I was a wrestler, I would get consent backstage first, but then I would do that, and I would have them go like, what the fuck? And I'd just be like,
the big thing is you can't play that off as like ha 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 gay joke. It needs to be played more of like it was an unexpected thing that they're surprised. It wasn't that, oh, a guy kissed me. It was, oh, you kissed me. Why'd you kiss me?
uh-huh. Yeah, and I wouldn't do that. Like, if I came out the next week to to do a promo and people started making gay jokes at me, I'd be like, so what exactly would be wrong with me being gay? I mean, I am not gay. Bros. I did that to fuck with him, but I don't think there would be anything wrong with me being gay. And if you guys think that, maybe you're the assholes. Anyways, let's get the real asshole out here. Heel opponent, come on.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. But basically, we got some hype ups for the next week's card. We're getting a tag team battle royale with a bunch of tag teams that Stu and Uno, Santino Ortiz, Jericho MJF, Sammy Hagar, Acclaimed, FTR, Jurassic Express, Private Party, Top Flight, and the Young Bucks, with the stipulation being that if the Bucks win, they get to handpick their opponent at Revolution.
Yeah. Which I think is really cool. I don't know if that's ever been done.
It's a good stipulation.
Yeah. Like, I'm surprised they didn't do that with the Rumble last year. Just like fucking Paul Heyman goes, if Brock Lesnar wins the Royal Rumble, which he will, prediction not a spoiler, he's going to pick his opponent. And we're just going to pick like the jobber-ass jobber of jobbers for him to fucking job out at WrestleMania. Because fuck you, fans. More heel heat.
And then it's WWE surprise victory.
Yeah.
But that's gonna be fun. All those flippy boys and all that kind of shit. And FTR trying to keep everybody grounded. Guys, we're wrestling. We're not Cirque du Soleil. Fight me on the ground.
Please. Just like I want a thing where like a bunch of teams are simultaneously doing spots at like different areas of the ring, and FTR just standing back to back in the center, looking around like, you fucking kidding me?
No, what I want is that FTR in the center, back to back, like anime fight, like come on boys, and then Top Flight and all these different flying boys start jumping at them, and they're pa. They're getting them and they're kicking them ass, knocking them down before they get hit.
Mm-hmm.
Badass. Good. Because remember, high risk. These are high risk, high reward moves. They're just facing the risk.
Yeah.
We also got announced more next week. We're getting the first elimination match of the American side. They confirmed it. American side of the tournament. Riho.
I think they said like Riho is representing the Japanese side, Serena Deeb is representing the American side.
I could have swore Excalibur said the first match on the American side of the tournament.
I remember hearing in the first match of the women's eliminator tournament, representing the American side is Serena Deeb and representing the Japanese side.
Well, we're just gonna have to go back and check it after we do this.
It doesn't fucking matter.
Yeah, Serena Deeb versus Riho. It's gonna be fun.
Yeah, I'm excited. We're getting a little baby Joshi girl back. That'll be great.
Yeah. But that's pretty much it. Announced in this little segment.
I thought your feed froze for a second. Then we go backstage where Dasha Gonzalez is with the Young Bucks and the Good Brothers, and the Good Brothers are basically like, "Yo, first time in 5 years, this Bullet Club guys teamed together. Biz Cliz, look at our dicks. The belts are our dicks. Woo!" And the Bucks are like, "Yeah, that's great, guys. It's really great. We're very excited about this match, so long as Dawn is involved." But like, Don's helpful. He got us this spot. He got us those jobs at Impact, and now we're here and we're with you guys. And we helped you out. You know, fucking Penta and his brother, they super kicked you, and we took out Penta's eye as revenge. Isn't that great? We didn't ask you to do that. Can we just focus on this match, please? And then Kenny Omega comes in, and I'm like, dude, you couldn't have, like, this is the main event. You could have done this any but well, I get it, dramatic timing. He goes, "We need to talk." And then they're like, "Now's not a good time." And then Don comes in and he's fucking bandaged up the side of his face. Like, okay, Kenny realized I'm just gonna lean into it now. And they all immediately start yelling at each other right when the Bucks' music hits, and the Good Brothers are like, "That's your music, you better get out there." And so we go into the main event.
God, listening to the Good Brothers talk for that brief amount of time was like having 3 seasons of fucking Family Guy reference, like cutaway gags shoved into 5 seconds and then shoved into your ear. It's like, what the fuck? There's so many fucking references. What the fuck are you talking about?
And that's what they're like all the time. Have you watched Talkin' Shop? Have you listened to Talkin' Shop? Have you watched Talkin' Shop of Mania? I have.
Like, Jesus Christ. Like, they shorten everything.
Mm-hmm.
So you gotta like process, okay, what are they saying and what is this a reference to?
They think it's funny.
I know. And to an extent it is, because it's like these 2 grown-ass men talking like middle schoolers.
Mm-hmm. You want to talk about the Biz Cliz Bane?
But continuing on that theme of talking about dicks, the Young Bucks come out, they do their thing, and then the Good Bros come out with their Impact accoutrement, which is nice.
Yeah, they actually got their entrance music. I was surprised they did not come out to another chorus of boos.
And they do their entrance, and Doc Gallows is just doing this giant fucking pelvic thrust dick thing with the belt.
He fucking pelvic thrusted the belt into the middle of the ring. It was amazing.
And Carl Anderson's just there laughing his ass off. It's like, ha, this fucking bit's so good, man.
Yeah.
And then they're going to come out because they're the baby faces for the match, which is nice.
Yeah.
They're all supporting each other. We have Beaver Boys and Evil Uno, Stu Grayson, and John Silver, Alex Reynolds. Alex Reynolds basically plays the ragdoll for this match. He's the heat getter.
Yeah.
With
meanwhile, Stu's doing some high flying stuff. We get Evil Uno doing a little bit of character work, and John Silver just being the fiery babyface, fucking standing up to Luke Gallows, and Luke Gallows making fun of him.
Oh, that was so good. Especially because, like, John Silver looks so fucking dense.
Mm-hmm.
He had some of the best fucking moments of this main event, because there was this one where all the elite are, like, and like a very purposefully made up line, but it looks very random, where he goes from one to the other, back into the ring, hit the final one, and it was like great. Alex Reynolds and John Silver did that spot that I always love, where it's like 5 moves and they do it in like 3 seconds, with a fatality at the end.
Yeah. Some really good babyface stuff from Stu as well, getting in like some awesome high-flying offense.
All the while, they never stopped the Dark Order tactics. Evil Uno still evil, like, was cheaty, but it was very kind of like Bugs Bunny.
Yeah, and you kind of feel like, oh, they have to, because they're fighting two sets of tag team champions, one of which are the EVPs of this company.
Yeah, but like they only retaliated in terms of cheating. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like,
Yeah.
oh, you trip our guy, we'll trip your guy. You don't do it, we won't do it.
Mm-hmm.
But eventually, the Bucks get the pen with the Meltzer driver, and Matt gets on the mic and goes like, "Hey, for all you in the audience here that don't have the hindsight of television to tell you this information, we're gonna announce that we're in this battle royale, and if we win, we get to pick whoever we want." And then they slowly look over to the Good Brothers and go, "Anyone." And they pulled up the Too Sweet. And it's like, are they trying to just keep it in the family? Are they trying to keep the belts just on each other? Or do they want
they're playing it to the Good Brothers as we're gonna put you guys over, we're gonna have fun, we're gonna be the Bullet Club. But in their heads, they're like, these fucking guys, these fucking idiots are back in our lives, and we're gonna teach them a lesson for fucking with our company.
I could like it's gonna be interesting, and I can't wait to see what happens. But we got basically Jon Moxley and Rey Fenix come out to attack because Pac's not there. He's resting up in England for the big match next week.
Yeah, he's off having tea with the Queen or whatever.
Yes, Pac has tea with the Queen. They come out to attack, and of course Kenny Omega also comes out to make the save. It's not making the save. It's I'm here too. But oh dear God, Kenny got fucking spiked. It was great.
Just basically reiterating, like, a lot of people got upset over this. Brian Zane straight up was like, "Oh, they're not putting Kenny on Dynamite enough. He's the champion. He needs to get booked more. He needs to have more screen time and more character time." And like, he beat Moxley in a chicanery way, and here he just gets insta killed. What the hell? And I'm like, that's the point, though. Mox is the better, more badass guy. Kenny only got the belt because he did the heel chicanery shit. Like, they would have had a good long match, and Mox would have still won if Kenny hadn't cheated. And this is like, yeah, Kenny's coming out being like, "I have the belt now. I'm the big swinging dick on campus. Don't you fuck with my friends, Jon Moxley." And then Jon Moxley's like, "Oh, it's you."
Yeah. And here's the thing. I have a feeling like Kenny Omega, it was 50-50 on a legit skill level Kenny Omega of Jon Moxley.
Yeah.
Because Jon Moxley is the bigger, tougher, badder, take more pain kind of guy. Kenny Omega is the better technical wrestler.
Yeah.
But Kenny Omega wanted those odds a little bit more in his favor.
Yep.
But that was Dynamite, which was fucking fantastic. We're gonna get.
I wouldn't say fantastic. I think this was like an okay Dynamite.
Yeah, I had fun. I don't know. I think I just needed Dynamite to be fun this week, and it was fun.
That's fair. That's totally fair. Like, it wasn't a bad Dynamite. I would just say it was subpar compared to what I would expect building to something like Beach Break.
Sure. I can definitely do it. I can definitely see that. But that was Dynamite. I liked it. We both liked it, but like I liked it a little bit more. And for the question you wrote in the notes, I'm just gonna say no.
Yeah, I just put because I knew, like, if there are people who actually listen to this show and care, they'll want to know: are we gonna watch the Royal Rumble on Sunday? Because the Royal Rumble is Sunday. Like, legit. You know that guy I was telling you who I met at work who is into wrestling? He asked me what my predictions for the Rumble was like, and I was like, I don't know what's going on in WWE. I'm not watching any WWE this year. And he's like, but it's the Rumble. You don't know who's gonna show up. He might listen to this. You don't know who's gonna show up. Hi, Amp. You can yell at me at work tomorrow. I don't care. You don't know who's gonna show up. It could be anybody. Anything could happen. And I'm like, I don't care though. I don't care.
Anything can happen, but that happen is like bullshit. So
Mm-hmm. Like the only way I feel like they could legitimately say anything could happen again is if Kenny shows up on Sunday and goes like, "I'm taking the WWE Championship next," and that's never gonna happen. So
yeah,
yeah,
I mean, Kenny's already got the legitimate American Championship right now.
that's the T.
But that was wrestling for this week. So
It sure was, buddy.
what?
I said it sure was, buddy.
Yeah. So real quick, this was MMWP. As always, you can subscribe and get notifications for Modular Media if you want to be notified whenever we're going live, whenever another podcast comes up. And speaking of other podcasts, tomorrow on Friday, episode 2 of our WandaVision review podcast miniseries is going to be up and live. And yeah, that's going to be fun. So subscribe for that. Like this video. Leave a comment. What was your favorite moment of wrestling this week? And in the meantime, hey, V-Man, tell them where you can get the social medias and get a parasocial relationship with you.
You can get that on Twitter at the Vacuuminator. That is THEVACUUMINATOR. You can also find me at the _Vacuuminator on Instagram, where I post figure photography. Though I haven't done that in a while. I've been using Instagram sporadically for personal kind of like catalog stuff, but I want to get back to figure photography soon. That's definitely in the cards for the next couple weeks. Hey, go check out my YouTube channel, youtube.com/thevacuuminator, because you know what you can do this Sunday instead of the Royal Rumble? You know what I'm going to be doing this Sunday instead of Royal Rumble? Watching the premiere of What If Power Rangers Super Mega Force was good, because that's happening Sunday night. I will be getting home from work tomorrow and watching WandaVision, and then immediately cracking open a Bang Energy, and I will not sleep until that video is finished and set to premiere Sunday.
You heard it here first, people. Howdy, howdy, howdy. My name is Chris Boingo Writer Gaston. I do video essay editorial things on the YouTube. You can find me on Boingo Writer. That's my channel name. If you want to follow me on Twitter, you can follow me there at Boingo_Writer. Instagram at Boingo_Writer. And, as always, you can join my Discord server where we talk about a bunch of random stuff, including toys, television, comics, and more. Link to that is in the description. And this was Modular Media Wrestling Podcast. Do you have any final words? Great!
CM